Dearest listeners, book babes and book bros, welcome to Book Babble. I'm your host, Tanya, and today my co-host is Morgan. Welcome back, Morgan.
Hello, happy to be back.
I'm happy you're here. Would you like to give us a little brief introduction for those who have not met you yet?
Sure. My name is, like Tanya said, Morgan. I am Morgan Reads 247 on Instagram, and Tanya is one of my book besties, but she also is one of my local besties, and I enjoy basically reading anything as long as there's a good plot with all the smut.
Yeah, and today Morgan and I will be interviewing Anastasia. Anastasia, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hello, I'm Anastasia Wilder. I am a dark romance author who writes morally gray suspense. If you would have asked me this question 20 minutes ago, I probably would have had a better answer for you. But I really write the type of stories that are wrapped with shadows and lust and desire and, thoughts that linger. So if you like morally gray MMCs, morally gray FMCs, you might be a fan of something that I write.
Yes, and I and Morgan and myself, I will speak for us both, are very big fans of the types of stories that Anastasia writes. So I personally think that you all need to pick them up right now.
It comes out on my newest one, Shadows of Light, comes out on Thursday. So you can find that in Amazon, KU, Barnes and Noble, anywhere that you buy your local indies. They can order it through Ingram Spark as well. And then as well as the Venti and the indie stores on my website.
Yes, and I am currently
reading
and
that one I'm
beautiful.
going to demand. I demand that everyone listening and watching picks this up on Thursday. I've already read it, and as Morgan just said, she is in the middle of reading it, and it's so good. You're missing out if you don't have it Thursday. So, without further
got the art
ado,
that morning, and she texted me later that evening. She's like, "What did you do to me?" I'm like, "How did you finish this already?"
I said that ending is so rude.
Oh gosh,
literally, that was my opening line. That was rude.
And I didn't realize that she meant that she had read it already, like the whole thing. I'm like, you read that 383 pages? Good for you. That took you hours, and that was years of my life. Thanks. And it was very promptly followed up with, "Where's book 2?"
Tanya do be like
my business partner Kim. No, I have a problem. My business partner Kim, she has access to like all of our messages and our emails and everything. And she goes, "You have been on top of it with Anastasia's stuff. Like you don't even let me. I don't even get to read it before you've responded." And I was like, "Listen, I want her book right now. I need it." So I am just like on top of these emails, waiting for that EPUB link. Like, give it to me right now.
Yes.
Sure did.
It was feral.
Sure did.
All right. Well, without further ado, ladies, are you ready to babble?
Let's babble.
Okay. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and Morgan's going to start out with our first question.
All right. So, Anastasia, my first question for you is, what got you into writing?
I've always been a storyteller and like wanting to have these stories and these characters like live in my brain finally, like on paper. I actually started writing fantasy, and then I realized, oh, shit, I don't know my magic system yet. I don't feel comfortable writing all of this. So then I switched and I started writing, honestly enough. I started writing this story first. It was the first thing I've ever started writing seriously to like a full publication. I have like a couple novels that are still in WIP status, and I might return to those eventually, but no plans to right now because I already have my publication schedule for the next couple of years. But this I started writing, and then a friend of mine, Shelby, who owns Cozy and Bookish in Miamisburg, she's like, "I need a piece for the anthology, and you're one of the dark romance authors, and I need something. So then I started writing what would become Midnight Heatwave. And then because those characters kept a chokehold on me, I didn't feel strong enough yet as a writer to really tell this story. So then I kept writing Charlotte and Maverick story. And then once I got done with Midnight Heatwave and Chasing Snowfall, I turned around, took a bunch of writing workshops, and read a lot of books on like craft and thrillers. And I was able to really feel confident about what I was writing now. And so that became Shadows of Light.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's so crazy. It's a small world. I know Shelby. I used to work.
I know. I thought you looked familiar. I thought I might have seen you. Cozy and Bookish.
I've been there.
Yeah.
So I love Shadows of Light because it's there's such a duality to it. like you get a lot of the emotional stuff, but you also lean heavily into the thriller and suspense elements. How do you balance that when you're writing? Like, how do you figure out how much emotion to show versus how much suspense to include?
So I think that any chapter that you're writing should always have a purpose. And so I go into the way that I draft with every intent of what is this purpose and what is it doing to move the story forward. And then really looking at like the balance of the characters and what they're feeling and how they're living in the moment and their reality in that time. And also, I just feel like what makes me want to turn a page. I love thrillers. I read a lot of suspense. I read of a lot of like horror and things like that outside of romance. And so I think that so long as you have a good base of those other elements that you're trying to pull in, you can always sprinkle in some good spice, right? Like everybody. I mean, I could write 8,000 word section if I really wanted to, and I might. That might be like a bonus chapter or like a bonus little like something, right? But I think that to be I think to be really well balanced, you really have to think about what's moving the characters and then what are all of the pieces. So, like, I lay a lot of Easter eggs and shadows of light for things that are going to come in the book too. So, I think that, like, having that momentum and having the suspense that ties with it is really key. What makes you keep wanting to turn the page.
That's awesome. Now, do you think you'll ever return to fantasy writing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I have the whip that I started. I'm still obsessed with it. I still think about it like almost every day. And I start like writing in my notes app about like a little bit more about like what I think their magic system's going to be like. Where do they draw power from? I am a slut for white shoes, but that one has a white shoes. The next, yeah. So
Oh my god.
I'm
Oh
excited
my
for that one.
god.
I was honestly hoping for that. It's fine.
Cannot wait.
Yeah,
I
I'm excited for
love
that one.
it.
It's going to be a little bit because I've already got my next 2 years scheduled, but I definitely already have what I want that book to be. I've already got that.
That's amazing.
I just need to work on like the underlayments so that it's really solid foundation.
So my next question has absolutely nothing to do with the being an actual author exactly, like the writing part of it. It's more about events. You have a stacked event schedule this year, like so stacked. What is your favorite part about doing these live events?
I love connecting with readers. I love connecting with new people. And even if somebody, I think the art sells a book. And if they look at my art and they don't like my book, that's totally okay because I can yap with you about any type of book, about any type of genre. And I just like to meet readers. So I'm looking
Heck yeah.
forward to that the most.
But speaking of your art, holy moly, that stuff is delicious.
Yes.
You wow. Just wow.
My artists are incredible.
So I
I'm
saw
very
the,
fortunate to have found them.
yeah, I saw the version without the tattoos and then I saw the version with and I was like, how does a tattoo like completely change the vibe that much? And it just is, oh my gosh. I have no words. It was so good.
Yes. Even just the sweatpants
So
change
good.
the vibe. It's like sweatpants.
So there is a version of I get to see Valentina is the artist that she's referencing that drew the pancake scene, and so I got to see it. No tattoos, no pants. Tattoos, no pants. Tattoos and pants, and I'm just like, okay, I don't have a favorite. She ate on every. I mean, he's eating at the same time, but she ate too, making this art. So like, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
So good. Oh my gosh. Like
I made
I'm gonna
strawberry
have to
pancakes this
buy
morning. I'll send you Tanya. I'll text you the picture. I was like, sure did.
You know what you should do at all of your author events? You need to serve pancakes.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun.
Just at your
I'll
table.
do I'll make a pancake sticker. How about that? I'm actually gonna add that to my to-do list. I'll make a pancake sticker. I have a sticker that's Beatrix's hand and it says Gabriel's hand and she's holding a necklace to like do this. I've got if you know you know, there's a chef knife that says bounce on it and it says Gabriel's goddess.
Yes.
And then I'll make one that's this strawberry pancakes.
I just read that scene last night. I saw the art before.
The nice
So pistachio whipped cream has never been the same.
I love it.
A while ago where it was similar that like there was a food scene and they were making cupcakes, except it was buttercream icing. And I've never been able to look at buttercream icing the same again.
That's lovely. Good for you.
It was delicious.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
I need you to do even more food scenes. That was lovely.
That's coming. That's coming in book 2.
Good. So, one of the things I didn't get to ask in our 5 minutes, which is fine, I want to know, like, what is it like exploring all of these topics in your books? Like, not everyone experiences these things in real life, so you get to, you write about it. If it, not everyone is exploring pancakes, things like that. So, what is it like to be able to live through your characters and write about these things?
I'm really lucky in that a lot of the stuff that has happened to Beatrix is a lived experience, but also I do a ton of research, right? So, like, I go down a rabbit hole of research. So, I've never worked as a ranch hand in Western Wyoming, right? But I did as much possible research. Like, I could tell you, like, who needs a permit, who doesn't need a permit in Western Wyoming to build tiny houses and make like a little eco lodge, like, and then like just turning it around and like really looking at all of the things that happened with both Beatrix and Charlotte in their lives, like the trauma, all of that. So I'm very fortunate enough to have resources in my life that I can turn to and say, like, hey, I want to do this justice as much as I possibly can. And I want to be able to write this in a way that is respectful, not only to the people who've experienced it, but also to like the actual healing process. What is a reasonable expectation that I could have if XYZ went? So I really think that connecting and double checking and making sure that what you think may happen, even if it's a lived experience or not, getting readers who understand the situation or talking with professionals. Like I've talked with professional chefs, like I've talked with like professional counselors to say like, okay, this is what would happen in a hypnosis or a hypnotherapy session. This is what would happen if you were to file a police report and they're overwhelmed and overworked. Like all of these things happen. It's not like I can be like going to the police department and be like, hey, can you tell me like what would happen if I had a stalker? It's different. What would happen in New York City versus what happens in, small town America, it's going to be a vastly different experience. So what happens in the city is oftentimes because they are overworked or overwhelmed or there's just an overload of cases, you're not going to be able to be the first one and have a dedicated man up, right? To really look at your case. So yeah, I think doing research is really key.
Yeah, and that's actually why I brought this up, because in a previous conversation that we had, you mentioned that you were even like making calls to the Met to ask them questions about everything going on the inside. And like, you guys, Anastasia is so thorough in her research, and she's so thorough with like sensitivity stuff. She does it very well, and she does it justice. So you've got to pick up her stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, calling the Met was an interesting thing because I thought that it was like a place that you could actually go into, right? Like you could walk in and be like, hey, can I make an appointment to come in? You can if you're press or if like a student of like, a certain program or things like that. But if you're just the public, you're not going to be able to like request access to anything. And that's fine. So the rest of it came from my brain and that came from my own time at fashion design school. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've been yapping the entire time, so I'm going to give Morgan the floor. You in.
Well, so she actually already answered the question that I was thinking about as far as like, do you talk to like professional people in the real world, so to speak, to like help you with your writing? Because I am also a counselor and a certified hypnotherapist. So getting to those scenes was very like, she did her research. She knows her shit.
I hope I did you.
Yeah. I was like, yes.
I really do.
Also, shameless plug, Morgan is a great counselor if anyone needs it.
That ending. Cindy already gave the bill.
I'm in the Dayton area. Hit me up.
Morgan, I'm gonna let everyone in our Discord chat know who's throwing fits. Like, I need more to contact you immediately for some therapy. Speaking of Discord, Anastasia, I know that you will love this. Every single person who has finished your book so far, from Iris, has gotten in there and they're just like blown away. They're like, what the heck? Literally in all caps, like, what the heck just happened? What did I read? Where's the next one? So you have hooked so many readers already, and your book isn't even out yet. So give yourself a round of applause and a pat on the back.
I love hearing that. I think that like that's like it's so funny because I have been the victim of a cliffhanger. Okay, but I like being a victim of a cliffhanger. I want to be edged. It's like Judge me. Like, take the time you need to write the next one, right? Like, make it as good as the first one. And so I think that, like, I'm a big fan of Tate James, and Tate has amazing cliffies. Okay, it's just it's an interesting place to be, to now be on the other side of it, to be like, people loved this book. It's being really well received so far, so I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy. But I also think that, like, the people who are asking for book two, you're gonna have you may have to wait a little bit. You know what I mean?
Enjoy the wait. I might, I'm gonna enjoy it the entire time, but I will also be begging the entire time too.
It's fine.
Edging is 100% our thing. We're okay with it.
Okay.
Goodness.
No, I mean, it's just incredible. So many people who have listened to the show know that I'm co-owner of Iris, and watching all of these people from my side of it. So, like, I get my personal experience, obviously, but I get to see all of these readers also going feral, and it's just crazy because, like, I kind of see a little bit from the author's perspective when I'm watching these readers do it. So I can only imagine how it feels as the actual author of the book to have these readers going absolutely nuts over what you've created. Like, that has to be so, I don't know, like, empowering to a degree, and just flattering too.
It's really kind of crazy because, like, these characters exist from just, like, and I always think about it like, from just letters of the alphabet, we're able to create stories, we're able to create words, and then we create worlds within those stories, and then from those stories we really, hopefully, knock on wood somewhere, really create characters that allow readers to connect with our spaces and the places that we are in our lives and what we're writing. And so that people reach out to me and they're very, very welcoming, for me to be in their space, because I don't want to be in a reader space. I want to write, and then I want, if they want to share their opinions or their stories or whatever and their connection to the book, that's great. But to have them come in my DMs and be like, I have so many questions for you. Who's, where, what did you do? Why did you do this? Who hurt you? Why did you leave us like this? Like, where is this coming from? And then, more importantly, these are the theories I have. Can you tell me? And I was like, I'm going to edge you, baby, because I can't tell you. I can't tell you, but that they connect so well with them that they really need to have one book too, but they also care about, like, who's doing it, who is the driving force from behind what's been happening to Beatrix. It's been an interesting experience.
That's awesome.
Always going to be accepted.
Okay, public service announcement. Everyone needs to give Anastasia their theories. Well, we are getting close to the end of our time, which is when we typically open the floor to you, Anastasia. If you have any announcements, anything you want to tell your readers, the floor is yours.
Okay. Shadows of Light is a dark romance, first and foremost. I do not condone the actions of our morally gray characters, right? The surprise, there is a cliffhanger. We've already mentioned it a couple different times. I am working on book 2, and I do want to let everybody know that book 2 gets progressively darker. All of the things that happen have consequences, both good and bad. And so after you've read Shadows of Light, Rays of Darkness is going to be the title for book 2 that will be available within the year. You've heard it here first, unless you've actually read the arc. Because it's announced on the last page. But Rays of Darkness will be book 2. And that'll be coming out. In the meantime, I'm also working not only on book 2. Shadows of Light comes out March 20th. I will be at so many different events throughout the Midwest. And I was just announced today for Bozeman, Montana, for an event that's going to be out there in August. And I'm really excited to meet new readers. I do have a couple other stories like in the works. There's a standalone My Choose that's coming, and the second story from Silver Rapids. You'll find out the very last text message that Maverick got as he was boarding his plane on his honeymoon is from a certain character, and so we'll get his book this year too. So I'm really excited to meet all the folks that are still in my head for these books. So, like, not only am I excited to, like, meet readers in real life, but, like, to explore the characters that are kind of like, knock, knock. Yeah. It's our turn. We're waiting. So yeah, so I've got that coming up. Everyone is been really positive about their reading experience. And so if anybody ever has any questions about the trigger warnings or anything like that, in a very serious way, like, I do hope that Shadows of Light does give you all of the dark romance feels. But if you have questions about triggers, please reach out.
I think that you've done a great job kind of, like, encompassing everything in there already. So I think you did it's very thoroughly outlined, and I honestly don't think many people are going to have questions if that makes you feel any better.
It does. But like my biggest thing is that like I always want to be transparent about like what I'm writing and like what it is. I do know that there is a lot of trauma of what happens in book 2, because like when you get to that point and you realize what happens like at the very end, like the most insane, horrific things that you could think possibly happen probably do.
Mm.
And that's the stuff that I'm writing right now. So it does get progressively darker in both tone and in retribution and in all of the things that Gabriel's gonna be forced to do to avenge his lady love. So be prepared. Book 2 is gonna be a slightly darker. Maybe not slightly.
Yeah.
So sick that I just started like getting excited over the minute you said retribution, the smile that broke out on my face. Like, I'm sick. I'm twisted.
Because like, what would you like? Honestly, what would you do? Like, if somebody, your lady love, what would you do? What would it drive you to do? You're already a walking red flag. You're already a 6'3" tattooed, pierced ex-mafia chef with excellent night skills. What are you gonna do? What are you doing? What do you mean? This man cannot be held responsible for his actions? I don't want him to be. BB, I want to be who you fight for. Come on, please.
Finish this book now so I know what y'all are talking about.
Please worship at my altar. Please, please.
Man, it real. Can I have him in real life? All right. Actually, please don't do that to me, because it would not be good if a man like that existed in real life.
Would you
Like,
even know what to do with him? You know?
Do I keep him in my basement? Like, what do I do?
100%.
Just a pet. Oh, goodness.
Well, Anastasia, it was so fun to have you on today. I would love to have you on again when your next book is coming out, so we'll connect and figure out when that's going to be. Well, thanks, ladies. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye, guys.
Meeting you, Anna.
Likewise.
Bye.